Hello and welcome to Cities Skylines. This is Christopher Tarantola, and we are doing Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So, first of all, how about that new resolution? How's that working out for you guys? I think it's working out great. I'm really excited that I was able to figure out a different way of doing my editing such that I can get a much higher resolution out of it. And get that on YouTube for you guys because I think it makes a big difference. Um, I also tell me what you think. I put my face down in the bottom left there instead of putting it on the top right. I had a couple videos where I had no face. Which one do y'all prefer? Do you prefer no face, upper left corner, upper lower left corner? What do you prefer? Um, because I don't care. Um, Now, I had basically recorded an entire episode, only I had not actually recorded it. I was talking to myself, so I got some good practice talking to myself. There's that for a plus. So let me just summarize what I did. Um, I had a lot of sick people at the end of the last episode, and to remedy that, first of all, I put a clinic in right there. Oh, I got the movement mod on. I put a clinic in right there, so that helped out quite a bit. I made another connection right here to try and get because I was also having trash backup, and I believe that was due to inefficiency. So I connected this road up right here in order to allow a greater efficiency from these facilities, these garbage facilities, over to the suburban area. Um, in addition, I added just a little street, Franklin Street here. It's just a little alley, actually. It's a two-way alley. And what I did is I went to the traffic mod, and I went to the vehicle restrictions, and I only, if you click on it, and you can click on these circles to change the restriction, and I only allowed buses, service vehicles like garbage trucks and hearses and that kind of thing, and emergency vehicles, so ambulances, police, etc. Um, and that, in doing so, that created some more efficiency because when you, in real life as well as in the game, when you have a suburban layout like this, it might be nice in the sense that you're not going to have a lot of cars going through your street super fast, which is kind of the idea. People want to have a nice little private street, but it's inefficient, and so the garbage trucks, the police, it's harder for them to get to you because they have to. If the police station's down here, instead of just driving in, they got to come around this way to get to you, and that's just adding a lot of inefficiency. So just adding that one extra connection there, and I just made it a little alley. It's improved the efficiency quite a bit. Another thing I spoke about in that missing episode was my park here. One of the reasons why this park is doing so well, if you look, it's making me $2,500 a month, and that's literally making the difference between me having profit and me being in the red right now. The reason it's doing so well is because of its location. It's in a needed place for pedestrians. I've already made my city. I'm trying to make it pedestrian centric. We have this pedestrian bicycle path that goes off to the primary place of work for everybody in the city, the industry area, and so these paths here, people. If I had just put a path there for free, people would be using it anyway. But because I have it as a park, now they're going to use the park and pay me a little bit of money to do so. It's going to create a little bit of pad for my bottom line here, and it's going to really greatly increase the usage of this park. Um, it's also the way that these people are going to be going to get to commercial areas as well. So it's in between where people are living and where they are going to work and shop and play. And so therefore it is a highly used park. If I had put the park over here, that park would not be used nearly as much. I'm not saying it wouldn't be used. People would go to the park just to go to the park. It can be a destination, but when it's not only a destination but also just on your way, you're much more likely to stop by, and just make your. I mean, think about it. If you live here at this house and you're going to shop at this shoe carnival over here because you need some shoes, you're going to get and walk, and you're going to walk through the park. It might even stop you from getting in your car and driving your butt all the way around, just because walking through the park and just people watching is going to be nicer. So that's a real life uh, analog to the game that works both in real life and in the game. So, in any case, I did that. I also I'm really uh, trying to figure out, okay, how can I get these people happier with the services that they have? What services are they missing? I had tried putting in this large warehouse, hoping, and it's 100% full. So I need to go to empty storage mode because it is full. But maybe I just need more warehouse. Maybe that's just not enough warehouse. But I was hoping that that would be enough services for them. I also I just finished building a cargo train terminal port here, so that the uh, lorries could come, drop off, and then pick up. This is a one-way industrial road here, and then the rail connects both ways so that people could use this. Hopefully, that would be a service that is counted towards. I don't know what services they're missing. I don't know. Maybe you can leave me a comment if you know what I should be doing, and I'm just being an idiot not knowing. I'm not. I am too proud to go on YouTube and look at somebody else's video who I'm sure has already figured this out and tells me. I like figuring things out for myself. That's part of the fun of playing a game like this. I mean, back in the day, we'd play like Zelda on SNES. There was no way to figure out how to do those things, and at one point you had to unplug the damn controller and put it in controller port 2. I mean, what was that BS? That was getting really creative on the game developers part. And I mean, how would you ever figure that out? I mean, there was no internet for you to go. Like, even if there was an internet back then, there was. I didn't have access to that internet. So, anyway, I digress. So, well, what are we gonna do? I really want to figure out this city services issue. I am getting a little frustrated that I'm being distracted by that. I want to add some farmland here. So I think I'm going to add a bit of farmland. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and do it on this side of the road. Um, that would be preferable. And so add some farmland here. Um, that's something that you need to. I'm going to also probably want to up the speed limit on this road here, just to remember this is my expressway. I'm going to have limited access to it. I also need to micromanage this intersection here. So it's got stoplights and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to start with. Okay. So first things first. Let's go ahead and press play. That, if nothing else, I'll be making money. Hey guys, remind me if you see this go red, make sure to let me know. Like ding on the screen monitor or something. Let me know, because hopefully that doesn't go red. I don't want that to happen. So first of all, I'm just going to turn off the traffic light here and the traffic light that may or may not be there. Okay, it's not there. And that's because this is... so I got to use the move it mod here a little bit, because that intersection's not quite working the way it's supposed to. I want to try and have this... I want to make sure that arrow stays straight. It's looking a little funky though. So we're going to move that around a little bit. Press Alt when we do it. It always helps. Alright, and also if I just drag this out here a little bit, I think it'll help. Maybe if I drag it in. Okay, that helps. Okay, So that works. And it did indeed create a light. So I want to turn the light off. Turn the light off. So I clicked it off. I clicked it on. Turn the light off. Yeah, sometimes that's a bit of a glitch with the traffic manager. You got to sometimes turn it off and turn it back on for the thing that you're trying to do to actually do it. Now, one other thing that I'll do is I'm going to go to the lane connector here, and I'm going to click this intersection, and I'm going to make sure that the lanes are going the way I want, and because what I don't want people turning left to get to it. So there's no way for you to come from the freeway to go and do this. That's not what I want. I want it to only be coming from that direction. And then I'm also going to do that here. So I'm going to click on, so a little tutorial I guess I should do. See how this is turning left here? I don't want that. So I want this to go to that lane. I don't want it to go to this lane. So all I'm doing is I'm just left clicking where I want it to come from, and then left clicking where I want it to go. I can left click again to undo if I need to undo it, and then I right click to release that. And then I'm going to left click, left click, left click, left click. And it's not necessary that I do it over here. Not necessarily necessary, but I'm going to do it that way anyway. And you'll see me do that a ton. I mean, a heck of a lot. I do that a lot. Because now what that's basically done is that's maintained the boulevard or the separation between these two. Even though the game creates an appearance here. And I know that you can download roads that will not do this. That the median will just continue through. But I find that this works just fine. It still has it might not have the best appearance, which is unfortunate, but at least as far as how it works, it will work properly. And that looks horrendous, so I'm definitely going to work on that a little bit. There we go. That's better. And there we go. Gorgeous. Much better. Okay. So now I got my little micromanagement. I'm sorry. Hey, guys, when in these videos, if you're not going to like me watching me do these kinds of things, this is probably not going to be the video series for you, because particularly as the city gets more complex, you're just going to see me be doing things like that much more and more. That's just my play style. So, in any case, they still want more city services. This is full, or it was. Oh, I gotta take my Move It mod off. Come on. There we go. So this is 100% full. So I think I might just need to build another one. So let's go ahead and, I guess, do that. Not a furniture factory, just a warehouse. Build another large warehouse to store goods. You can already see that this road is starting to get heavy use, and that makes a lot of sense. We don't necessarily want to put this warehouse on the heavy use road, because what that will do is, as they're going in and out, if they're going to be going in and out a lot, it can create more of a traffic problem than if you had it on a side street. And so that's what I'm going to do there. I think I had Anarchy on. I didn't necessarily want that, but the game is smart enough that it's going to potentially take these little warehouses out. I might actually just bulldoze them where I don't want them. I don't mind that it mushes up right there. That, you know what? That's perfectly fine. Yeah, but take that out as well. And then what's the problem here? No, I don't want to bulldoze. I don't want to. I'm pressing the wrong button. That helps. Helps if I'm pushing B and not V. Okay, no resources selected. Oh, right. Okay, so we want to empty and we want it to be just goods. Goods. See, that one's like, it is full all. Right? But we need to start diversifying our industry here. Um, we also need to focus, instead of expanding our industry though, based on our RCI, we need to create some more living area. Um, oh, and that finally emptied, so gorgeous. Okay. And how's my garbage traffic flow? How's my garbage doing? Garbage is doing great. Interesting. Um, so yeah, let's manage our uh, speed limits here. So we got 50 here. I think I'm going to put that up to 90. This is kilometers per hour, which honestly, I live in America. I live in Texas, which is even worse than America. So I don't have the first clue what kilometers per hour means, except that it's not miles per hour and it's way slower. 90 seems fast to me, but I go 90 on the freeway all the time, but it ain't kilometers per hour. I'll tell you that much. So again, I'm gonna press Shift and click, and it's gonna change everything up all the way up to the next intersection here. And if we look, indeed it did. And then I'll just click it for the next segment here, and still indeed it did. And the next segment here. Oh, and the next segment. Now, if I want, I can also speed that up, probably to 70. There's no need for it to go any slower than that. And it went all the way around to this segment here, which is just hunky-dory for me. To me. And I don't mind that being slower. Eventually, that's, again, going to be probably an underpass the way it's looking, because I already have an overpass here. It's going to be hard to lift that up, but it'll be easy to lift this up. So this will probably become an underpass at some point. All right. So we certainly have a lot more freeway traffic happening. And at some point, we're also going to have to worry about upgrading our interstate here to a 3-lane each way. But alas, not right now. So we have two connections here, there, and there. This connection seems like it's getting a little bit more traffic, actually, than this one. So I'm just watching it for a while. It's flowing just fine. It's not really creating too onerous of a burden on the grid right now. I think it was a smart move detaching those two way back when. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know what? I do need to go ahead and up my speed limits over here. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not even really doing anything interesting. Hopefully this is not like the worst episode ever. I'm just, fiddling with things to make them more efficient. Here, the reason why we're having so much abandonment here is because we don't have enough educated workers, which means we don't have enough high schools and universities. So I have just the one. I just have this one institute, and it's pretty much maxed out. That's basically a high school. That Institute of Creative Arts is essentially a high school, and it's maxed out. So that's the commercial that is there and isn't going away. It's because of that high school. So I need to put another high school to service these areas. And when you put a high school, that's going to actually increase the grade of these buildings. So that's something to keep in mind is they're all going to upgrade. So if you like the look of it, you actually might not. And I do need to add more, so I might add more. I need to add more, and need to add more hoity-toity to get business versus industry. Um, so, how are we going to do this? Again, I want to. That is going to be a very commercially area, so I'm going to stay away from building there. As I go out to this direction, this is all going to be industry, but I wonder if I could maybe start doing something up on this hill. I don't know. I got to think through this, guys. Um, so on the one hand, you kind of having your high area be hoity-toity makes a lot of sense. On the other hand, they're going to be viewing a valley of industry, which is not necessarily going to be the prettiest view. A, and then B, it's going to be far away from your main city here. So what I may want to do is may just try and continue the city out this way. It's going to become like a strip of, an eight block strip that extends all the way out this way, and it's going to have this nice railroad cutting right through. Just going to create some interesting things. What we'll probably do is we'll probably elevate this railroad up at some point, and so that the grid can kind of continue underneath it unabated. And I know I wanted to put some farmland out here, but we're not ready for more industry right now. So where do I want my next neighborhood to be? I don't want to do it here next to the freeway. I think that'll be a great place to put offices later down the road. This is going to be, like, right now it's kind of low density, and this area here is going to stay low density, but this is all going to be high density at some point. So that's one thing I could probably do to increase. I could just go ahead and make that high density. Now, when you do this and you're upgrading and you're depending on that income, you got to do this slowly. So I'm going to left click, right click, right, and I'm going to give that a second to rebuild, to recoup the funds. And I'm going to left click, right click. I'm just going to give it a second. And take your time on this one. If I just did the whole area, if I have enough money buffer, sure, you can do that. But you notice my zoning is my RCI is going down every time I do this, and if I overdo it, then I might end up with a lot less revenue. And that you can see my bottom line is getting hurt right now because I'm in transition between the taxpayers that were there and the new taxpayers that are coming in. And so, see, it's going right back up now. So you just got to be careful about how you do this, particularly early on. Later in the game, when you got $5 million and you're making $30,000 a month or a week or whatever, the weekly income, who cares? But right now, I'm at such a tight margin that I do, and see, look, I'm making more money than I was before because these guys pay more money, and I've completely taken care of that demand for residential. Now I'm back to having demand for industrial. So, let's do we want to do a lumber mill or do we want to do farms? I kind of want to do farms, but I'm certainly more in a lumber mill area. I mean, I certainly have the ability to make this lumber mill, and it'll fit right in with my existing industrial network. So I think I probably going to do that. Remember, this road here, this is going to go up and over um, to over here, and I think my lumber mill I had actually I wanted to put over here, and then I guess it could cross and attach here. Yeah, and we're saving, so we're kind of glitching. How are we doing on time? Okay, got about 5 minutes. So in that 5 minutes, what I'd like to do is there she is. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go ahead and build my bridge. And see, again, I've gone more than 12 squares, and so it's detaching where it lifts that up. But I can just do straight slope here, and I can force it to be a bridge, and it'll be a bridge from inception of the road segment, and I'm at 9 meters, and it makes it a nice, even, gentle slope. See that? And maybe that's too much. I think it honestly, on some level, it is too much, but um, it really does add something. And see, I can just do this straight across here. Now, even though I have the straight slope, it is pushing it up over the water. But I can go back and adjust that with um, sorry, distracted. I can go back and I can adjust that with the movement mod. All right, and I'm gonna take the straight slope off, and I'm gonna put that curve back in there, and then I'm gonna go back to normal here, and I'm gonna put my freeform roads on here. So now that it's come over, page down to 0. And we'll just do the normal 12 here. There it is. Okay. And just kind of follow the rules. So this is how people are going to that work in the lumber mill are going to come to the lumber mill from where they live. And I think at this point I'm actually going to I'm going to leave it with the green median. And we're going to page back up to 9 meters. Go more or less straight across the river here. Page back down to ground level. And connect. Okay, now I'm going to take... So this is a way without the traffic manager. And I don't remember if this is a mod or if they just added this into the game at some point. You can also go here and I can see that I got a traffic light there. I can turn that traffic light off and turn that traffic light off. And look at the traffic over here. Oi. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to upgrade this road at some point soon. So what can we upgrade that to? We're going to go to our small heavy roads, and I wonder if it's just that it needs 2 lanes, or should we just do a basic with the turning lane? We'll try basic with the turning lane first. And I'm not going to do it over here. I'm just going to do it over here. We'll just watch it for a second, see how that works. Yeah, I think that works nicely. So now it's an upgraded road. It's going to do a little bit better. They still want more services for the life of me. Well, it's basically being maxed out as well. Um, so maybe I need even more warehouse, uh, which is kind of crazy. Um, and maybe it's because my industry's not diversified enough right now and spread out. I might. Maybe we need to put a warehouse over here. I don't know. Oh, I haven't figured that out. I had it more figured out last time I was playing regularly, but that was a while ago. So let's go back to this. So we're gonna go ahead and let's paint our industry area here, and it ought to look good enough, right? Yeah, we'll get in here. It won't actually be that big, but that'll certainly cover any um, industry that we want to do here. And then we're going to, yeah, here. So what do we start with? We got the forestry main building. So that's where we got to start. So we'll start with the forestry main building on the main road here. Maybe give them a nice little view of the river here. Okay, and then we got the forestry workers barracks. That just increases efficiency, so I'm not going to start with that yet. Forester maintenance building. Take care of the industrial, increasing their utilization. That also increases efficiency. I'm not going to build that quite yet. We got small, medium, large tree plantation, sapling field, sawmill, biomass pellet, and so it goes into the other things. So I think first of all we're going to start with our plantations here. Now I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and go back to an industry road here, and I am literally just going to um, put it like right here. I'm just going to have it go straight back for now. And back to my industry. And let's place these large tree plantations. I'm going to give it some space so that if I want it to zone on that grid, I can. And I'm also going to give it 2 tiles worth of space, so if I want to stick a road in between them, I can. And if not, then they're just there. And I can do the same for the other side. One, two. There you go. Now, go ahead and add a sawmill, I think. We can add the sawmill on this side of the road. Or what we could do, go back to our roads. I like this idea better. Let's go back to our roads. That's where I went wrong. I went too far there, but that's okay. That's fine. So we'll add a bit of a road here. It just comes and loops back in. Having a loop makes things work better in this game. So I don't think that's as realistic as it for real life, but in the game it certainly does work better. I'm also going to connect up to my water supply here, and I'm going to need since I'm expanding my industry, need to watch that closely. I also need to add power. Now for this, I am actually going to go to the regular power line, and I'll have it go from here to here. Okay, and then I can always go back to the suburban power line and do the next connection here, just for good measure. See there? And it kind of connects, even though it looks a little funky, not that funky. In let's go back to our industry and create our sawmill here. So the sawmill is basically taking the raw tree product and refining it. And how many we're going to need, I don't remember. So right now we're just going to leave it there. We're going to also want to have storage. So a large log yard. I'm going to put 3 of those. Even if it's too much, it's good for expansion. You also want the sawdust and wood chip and all that storage. Oh, that's just a forestry fritz. Okay, so sawdust storage used for storing raw forest products. Raw forest product. I think they're the same. One's just bigger than the other. Capacity 400. Capacity 600. Yeah. So I'm just gonna do that, and I don't know how many to put of these, so I'm just gonna put one of those now, and we'll go ahead and make sure we're got everybody watered here. And go back and biomass pallet that creates paper. Paper. Do you believe it? Paper. If you know what that is from, don't tell your friends, but put it in the comments below, and I'll make sure to shout out to you if you get it right. If you do it sometime before the end of February 2019. Engineered wood plant. And a pulp mill. Now this might be kind of going overboard on placing all this stuff, so I'm going to have to come back and manage this a little bit. But, yeah. So it's already up to 2 stars. Let's see. We're outputting more than we're bringing in. Are we? Yes. Okay, good. We just went to doing more than we're bringing in. But we're not making a profit quite yet. So let's see if it just needs some time. I'm going to give it some time. Yeah, but it's killing my profit. So I might just like turn off something like this. But it seems like it's actually working. I don't know. Let's see how we're doing. Alright guys, well, in any case, that's the end of our video. I'm going to maybe finagle with this a little bit off screen, and I will come back on the next episode. Hopefully, the next episode will actually be the next episode and not, have a mysterious missing episode in there. I think it was actually, it was a better episode than this one. I apologize, guys. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.